Speaking of Amazon, anybody's Amazon drivers, shout out to you if you're an Amazon driver watching the show. But I can specifically remember within the last 5 years not seeing an Amazon truck in my neighborhood. And today, like now, they're about at least 5 or 6 a day. And they're moving quickly through the neighborhood. My Amazon drivers they be bumping too. Like you could hear them playing like the ice cream truck, just hip hop music flying through the neighborhood, man. And I'll sometimes get kind of nervous because I got 2 young kids and stuff. But man, when they pull up and they open the door and the music be blasting, and they come up, sit the package down, I'll be like, all right, I like that. I like that. You don't see the UPS guys doing that, and I'll be feeling sorry for them. They be gonna have to wear their headphones, but it's like a trigger now. When I hear that music, I know it's Amazon, man. Just saying.
I always feel bad when I see them running with a box, like to make the deliveries. I'm like, why are they gonna go so fast? They're gonna make what other jobs are their way? You have to run. You drive and you run.
They have to run a box up to the door.
Yeah, but they got to make so many deliveries sometimes. So they do some running.
Yeah, they park the car, they get out, and I see the guy running like he's breaking tackles, handing boxes, tossing them. And at least the guys in our neighborhood are pretty gentle with them. Like I've seen some horrible videos where people like just chucking them, like kicking them and running back to the truck.
No time.
Yeah, but man, it's crazy.
Wow. Maybe that's what the music is for. You got to stay jazzed up. You got to it's like a game, like you playing a sport. It's like, you park and you got to run. So you got to have your game music.
Keep the blood pumping.
The Amazon game would be a fun game. Like it was a video game where like the reverse Pac-Man, you have to get as many packages as you can. And then your teammate had to get them to the places as quick as possible for the other guy gets them.
There was a game a long time ago called Paperboy. Paperboy. It's basically that. Like you're riding a bike, throwing newspapers at houses, but there's like all this crazy stuff in the street you gotta avoid, like hydrants that are loose and dogs and like a clown or something. That's essentially it'd be an updated version of that game, I think.
Yeah. Except for like if you ship the wrong package, you lose like a life or something. I would definitely play that game, man. They should do like a Grand Theft Auto version.
Of Amazon. Speaking of Grand Theft Auto, actually, I want to touch on all the stuff going on with the GameStop stock. Very interesting stuff. For those who don't know, GameStop is for all intents and purposes, a failing company. And Wall Street was betting on that. They were putting a lot of money into this company stock failing, dropping, losing a lot of money. They would make money. Some people on Reddit decided to stick it to Wall Street. They all teamed up together and said, hey guys, let's all buy GameStop stock and drive the price up. And they did. And it went from like $20 to like $400. Causes Wall Street people to lose like billions of dollars. A lot of people on Reddit made a lot of money themselves. And Wall Street got pissed. They got mad about it.
Yep.
And now people are trying to figure out what to do about it. SEC is looking into it. Some of the applications that they use were making changes to how these stocks are being handled, and people are getting pissed about that. It's all very interesting. Have you guys paid any attention to this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody invested in GameStop?
No, but funny thing is, about 2 weeks ago, the HEB that I go to is next to GameStop, and I'm an investor, stock market investor. Excuse me, and I'm looking to buy a PS5. And my wife goes, why don't you go to GameStop? And basically GameStop is like Blockbuster for video games. It's eventually going to be one store somewhere in the country, but that'll be it. And I remember seeing like 3 people outside of the door waiting to get in, but it was like 2 o'clock during the day. I mean, it was like, why the heck would GameStop be closed, or is it part-time or something? And I looked at the stock, and the stock was trading for like dirt low. And I remember looking at this going, oh my goodness, like they're still around. And only for 2 weeks later to see that like just spike. And of course, for me, like, yeah, that was a chance I could have made money. But on the flip side, I think the pot gets a little thicker with GameStop. Because GameStop, there was a specific hedge fund that was hurt the most. And that hedge fund, from some of the research or legend that I've heard on the internets, was Michael Jordan was actually going to be in partnership with that specific hedge fund. He was looking to sell the Hornets. And because that hedge fund lost so much money, that Bobcats deal also went down the drain because they didn't have any money to buy it. So Michael Jordan actually got affected by the GameStop, which I thought was hilarious. But to answer your question about like what,
oh man, he has to own a basketball team a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst thing that can happen, right, to billionaires. You can't get rid of something you don't want to get rid of. But nonetheless, man, I don't know what to do because I don't like the idea of the billionaires being able to impact the common man's access to trading stock. And truth be told, those hedge fund people have manipulated stock price before. You know, I mean, imagine let's say like if GameStop was Conor McGregor in the Floyd Mayweather fight, everybody who had any kind of money was probably betting against Conor McGregor losing that fight. But imagine if Floyd Mayweather was, somehow outside the fight, ran into some Reddit guys, and the Reddit guys was like, look, we'll pay you 10 times more if you throw the fight just to piss off those other rich people that really, really, really don't like you. What would you do? And Conor McGregor actually pulling that fight off. That's how I look at the GameStop situation. Yeah. It's funny to hear rich people lose a lot of money if you don't have a lot of money, but I think it's going to take some years for them to really figure that out, man, because what if they do that to like, I don't know, what if they relive Blockbuster, or not Blockbuster, it's publicly traded, but what if there's like a company that everyone really hates and they decide to just make that a big company now, anybody can do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. And that's why they're freaking out. To me, it makes me think of, oddly enough, it makes me think of that story of Martin Luther translating the Bible in a weird way, because stocks used to be like a rich man's game. Like you needed thousands of dollars just to get in the door. And now with applications like Robinhood and Acorn and all that, you and I can do it for like $100 or $50,
or even fractional shares. You can buy
fractions of shares. You don't need to buy a whole share. Mm-hmm. So now that we can buy stocks, all of a sudden there's a lot more of us than there are of them. Yep. Right? You can drive up a Blockbuster or whatever.
I think it makes it democratic, though. It now turns a stock market into a true democratic infrastructure. Whereas, like you said, like if the 1%, I'm tired of hearing the 1% own 80% of the wealth in the world, man. like
they're not tired of hearing that.
They're not tired of that at all. But shit, if I know, like I told you, I met this guy at Whole Foods who shows how little stock market actually reflects the economy. Connor Woods, exactly, man. It's crazy. It doesn't reflect it. It doesn't show the real picture. And the stock market, like this year, the economy is just terrible because we're going through a new change. We're going through a complete gut out of how we used to do business and transactions and going towards Star Trek land. And that means that, like with all change, people are going to lose jobs, companies are going to fail, and that's horrible to see, man. But in the midst of all that, the richest people in the world who've already got their stuff out, like the Jeff Bezos, right? Because he also has a venture capitalist fund. He's also invested in Twitter and all those other companies outside of working at Amazon. He has billions of dollars of assets in other places. You know, he can go in on a discount and buy a lot of these companies cheap, like JCPenney that was getting ready to go out of business. You know, he can go in and go, I'll buy your JCPenney warehouses for like 5 cents on the dollar because I need new Amazon distribution. And now he buys that, and then he becomes even more wealthy. Because an everyday Joe like me and you can't just go up and even get that deal. But like you said, Antoine, without a couple hundred to even $1 million, couple $1 million to even put up to do it. But a guy like that could just keep playing Monopoly. Keep playing Monopoly. Monopoly, man. So it's crazy. More of the story. Get in the game. Everybody go buy stock.
That's how we solve the problem.
Yes. If you ever learn one thing about this, is you can make a shit ton of money in the stock market, probably more than you can not putting it in the stock market.
I agree with that.
More money has been made. More money in the history of America has been made in the stock market than any other place. And now everyday people can get in.
And just to Connor's point about the stock market not reflecting, I view the stock market as a series of emotions. It's like how people feel about things. It's just like, this is how people feel about GameStop right now. It's not indicative of how good the business model is of GameStop. It's how they feel about it. That's why when Bezos steps down, Amazon stock might take a hit because people are like, ooh.
Yeah, I don't like that guy. Yeah.
And then they go,
yep. Has nothing to do with the fact they're going to make $100 billion this quarter. And most people, like Socrates' democracy quote, most people don't take the time to even look into a company that they're shopping with. Like, how do they make money? How does this price become this? They'll just go, oh man, I saw Elon Musk take a picture with Kanye West. I'm gonna go buy Tesla today.
Yep.
Like, that's how it is, man. Which somebody should start a company called Happy and try to get it public, like try to blow it up to make it an IPO so that you could publicly trade, Happy stock. But it would have to be a company, and you would have to put it labeled as Happy on the tickers.
Contessa said she'd put money into Tandy's vision board business.
She didn't say she would. She said she put it.
She put money.
I didn't get it, Contessa. I heard hopes and dreams, and I heard a request, but I didn't see that core cash.
Tandy, you might want to check out there to see if someone started the business already.
You doggone straight.
Contessa could have invested into somebody else's business, but it's your idea.
You're right. Sorry about that. Sorry, Contessa.
It's called Tandy's Vision Boards, but it's run by somebody else.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. I caused this whole pandemic thing just one vision board.
You caused Jeff Bezos to step down. All of that.
Man. I was thinking about all of this stocks and all of this, your virtual money. I always laugh at was it? I can't remember if it was somebody at the beauty barbershop, and I remember somebody asking, "Do you take Cash App, your Venmo?" They were like, "I don't do that virtual money." In cash, I was like, "Virtual money."
Virtual money.
Yeah, you want that?
My lawn guy was the same way. Like it'd be easier if I just paid you over Venmo. It was like, I don't. You say it, send it to me. I don't receive it. Who knows where it went?
Yeah. Like it's just poof in the dust. I'm like, it's way quicker. It can actually so quick that if you accept it, it goes straight into your bank account. You don't even have to go to the bank. That's a whole 3 steps that I've just removed. Gas money. You lose money when I give you cash. You literally lose money.
I lose money too because I got to go to an ATM and pull that out and pay a fee.
Yeah. But you could just download it in 5 minutes. Get these COVID dollars, man.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that you do lose money dealing with cash. If you don't keep it on you, that costs you. I try not to use ATMs that charge a fee. I mean, I try to use the ones that are connected to my bank. Like I'll spend. I'm working on this. Sometimes I recognize I'll spend like $5 in gas to save $3 in the fees, right? And then I'll just pretend I'm like, well, I just wanted to drive down here. I just wanted to I'll go to that store over there. I'll make it worth my while. So then I stack up all this other stuff that cost me money I probably would not have spent if I'd have just, gone and paid that fee to get the money closer to me. Or just pay by Venmo or some other method. But that's I'm not the youngest person at work, and it is so unfortunate that I'm the only one that has all the payment methods, all the virtual payment methods. Because they're like, well, how can we get the money to you? Oh, you can send it, Venmo, and they're like, wow, you have all that. So I'd like to thank you, young people, for for keeping me in the loop and keeping me connected to stuff, because so many people don't do any of that at all.
Yeah, that sucks too, because things are moving so fast, man. Even small businesses are going digital with Square, and I remember reading something a year ago, and San Francisco was actually fighting lawsuits because San Francisco was too digital. They didn't have enough cash taking businesses to support the homeless community who don't have cell phones, computers, who are getting cash and are getting. And I remember even there's some signs in Houston that would say, don't give the homeless cash, donate to this app or something. But it goes to say, like, there's a big wave that just hit, in the technology wave, and we don't know how many more waves are going to come. But for the elders or the people who are just very slow to change and adoption, they actually lose big parts of, engaging with, a lot of businesses, a lot of people. You're less likely to get money sent to you. You can send some people, like when my wife was going through her treatments, people could send us, Venmo, Cash App, or whatever, not even come FaceTime us. Is it like being in person? It's not 100%, but it's way better than saying, man, I would come over there and give you some money, but I can't get over there, and I don't want to exchange the cash because you might get sick. Well, there's a solution for that. Yeah. So you're basically saying you like living on an island.
I'm not going to go on a rant about the kids with the football helmets on the median. I'm not going to do it. But it drives me crazy. You know what I mean?
Kids with the football helmets on the median.
Yeah, they're asking for donations for the team.
Asking for donation for the team on the median in the middle of the day. Bunch of kids, not even wearing football uniforms half the time. They just got helmets walking around.
Are you reluctant because you don't trust them, or you think it's just not the most efficient way to get money?
This is the second one. I don't want to support this inefficient. What is the lesson? What is the lesson being taught right now?
Have you stopped and actually showed them a better way, or do you just frown and judge?
I don't got time for that.
I mean, come on.
You're right. I thought about it. Like you get out, you talk to the adult, one of the two adults that are sitting in a chair across the street, and he's like, "Hey, man, isn't there a better way? Can't you do like a GoFundMe or something? Make this digital, put a sign up, like with a Venmo thing, instead of having kids walk up to random car windows." But I'm not going to rant about it. I'm not going to do it.
No, you don't have to. We cut to Antoine approaching a coach sitting in a lounge chair.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. What's going on? What happened? Hey, what happened? He took some money out your car?
No. He's fine. He's fine. The kids are fine. I want to talk to you actually about this whole thing. I've seen you guys here every day this week.
Yep.
With the football helmets, and the kids running up to the cars at the red light. And it's the year 2021, sir. Like, what are you doing? There's a better way. Why don't you just have these kids go digital?
What? I've been having these kids out on this corner for the past 25 years. And you don't know who we are? Man, we the Southside Colts. Everything we get comes from the street. The money that we collect, we don't even buy equipment, man. We stand out here, and after we get the money, we ask people for equipment. You got any old footballs, any cleats? Got my boys lined up. People bring cleats out here. They try them on in the median. It's really fishing. What do you think you can do that's better than this?
Well, do these kids even play football?
Sometimes.
Hey, coach.
Yeah, what's going on, boy?
Somebody just gave me a face mask and some pocket change.
Ooh.
We almost got a helmet.
Almost
got a helmet.
Listen, hold on. Look, hey, Carlton, this man here thinks we should go digital. He thinks it's a better way to do things. Tell him how you got your whole uniform last year, and money for the snacks that we sell. Tell him.
Well, sir, I came out here with my little brother. We stood out here at 6 a.m. in the morning, and as people were coming straight out of the breakfast shop right over across the street, I knew they was paying for breakfast with cash because that's a cash-only business right there. So, I just asked them if they could support the football league, and every day we raised at least $50 to $75. Today I got a face mask. This is worth $15 right here.
$50 to $75 for a full day of work? Kid,
that's just me. I'm talking. I'm my younger brother. He's way younger than I am, so he get about 200, 250. The younger kids get more money, but I started off young. I'm just now coaching the younger athletes behind me.
Wait, you are coaching the younger kids on how to approach.
Right.
I'm a curve manager. I manage this curve. I manage this curve.
It smells like homelessness training. It smells like you're teaching these kids how to continue to ask for money for the rest of their life from strangers.
No, coach is teaching us how to raise money. Like, we want to be entrepreneurs one day. I need to learn how to get out in the street and raise my own capital.
That's right. That's right. The lesson here, the lesson is a closed mouth don't get fed. All right. Nope. Just sit back there and let's think about ways we can raise money. And boy, I wish we would. But if we get out there and we ask, that's the solution, sir.
And sometimes if the cars don't really want to give us any money, so they try to pull off real fast, and that's when we get our exercise in. We try to chase them down. Sometimes we catch them.
They can do a 400 in 2 seconds. Cars.
You do 400 yards in two seconds.
2 seconds.
Because he had the helmet, and then his arm was there. If he wanted his arm, he was gonna run.
Look, what you're doing is incredibly dangerous. Children are in the street with vehicles breathing in exhaust. There's a pandemic going on. Why don't
all this time you done spent? You could have just made a donation and moved on. Neither any better. Plus, you think these the only kids I got? These four you had, the four you see out here now? I got a whole rotation, sir. I got about 500 kids that I put out in different, and they rotate throughout the city. We are the Southside Colts.
We cut to a management meeting of the Southside Colts. All right, we bring in the meeting today to talk about today's earnings on Scott and 610, all the way down to all the way down to Missouri City. We have Missouri City that's joined today.
All right,
let's go around the table and talk about anything that you've earned and any lessons learned.
Missouri City here.
All right, let's see what you got.
Okay. Today, it was a big day today. Got in there both rush hours right on time. Squeezed out about 15,000 today.
That's amazing. We're jotting it down. $15,000
15 today, sir.
from the Missouri City, Southside, and scene.
Connor Wood said the Southside Colts are a pyramid scheme. They should be. That's the real.
I mean, they're recruiting smaller and smaller.
That's the real pyramid, man. Because kids can get you paid, boy.
That's terrible, and people use that because they always feel you're gonna feel bad telling a kid no.
Mm-hmm.